Hello, Tim O'Kelly here, and I wanted to bring to you a piece that deals with how to handle it when everything about you is going to poo. What a great topic. I usually give topics about inspiring, enlightening, right? This one I'm going to take on was when everything's falling apart. If you've ever been hit with anything that came out of nowhere and just jarred you, and you're not on center, just something that you can do that might help. Before I jump into that, though, I just want to give you a little bit of history about myself. I've been in this personal development industry since 1988, and I took my first class back in 1988, and I saw something in this work that I really, really loved, and I connected with it, and I decided to do it for my livelihood. And I've been traveling around all over this country, all over Canada, hundreds of thousands of people, and as I've been doing that, I've been looking at, just let me build a toolkit for people on what are the least amount of tools in personal development that I can use to create my dream. And that's what I've been about for almost about 10 years. The last 10 years, really, the smallest toolkit, what works to create a dream. Because I truly believe everybody's got a dream and everybody's got challenges. So what are the tools we can use to get through the challenges? And that's what I'm about. So this one right here, I want to bring up because there are times in your life, I know, that have been really good. And you've been building and you've been working on things, and then you've had times in life where it seems like everything falls apart, or if it's not falling apart, it's taken a big hit. And I don't know if you've had something recently where you've had a big hit and it just threw you off track. And it almost like, where is this coming from? Why is this happening? And so what I want to do is just give you something that might help out a little bit when it seems like everything is falling apart. And I guess this really is, now that I think about it, just a couple of different perspectives that we might have that makes the rocky road a little bit easier, okay? So one thing I want to pass on to you is something I heard a long time ago that really has helped me, and I want to pass it on to you. This would be a little tool that we put on maybe on that first level of our toolkit, right? Very simple tool. And if you don't believe in God, you don't believe in the word God, or please translate however it works for you. I heard this a long time ago that God will never give me more than I can handle. I want to be clear on something. I have no idea if that's true. I don't see how I would ever know that that's true. What I do know is when I am under it and I am in a funk and I am overwhelmed and I'm not sure which way to look, forward or backward or sideways, I know that when I just bring my mind to that place, there's an empowerment that happens. And it doesn't handle everything automatically. It doesn't just make everything go great. I'm not saying that. But when I can go back to that place and just remember that it's possible that I'm never given more than I can handle, that helps a lot. A lot. That's one little tool that I want to give you there. Okay. The other one is, if you're in overwhelm and you've reached that boiling point and you just don't know where to go, here's another little tool, might go in that first ledge also, is stop. Don't keep going when you're in overwhelm. Okay, let me give you an example. Have you ever been to a horse race? If you've never been to a horse race, just imagine it. So you've got the horses running around the track, right? Well, if you watch that race, take a look at which horse is getting whipped. I know it's a weird picture, but think about it. Which horse is getting whipped? Think about that for a second. Which one? Yeah, the one up front. I should say the ones, not the one, but the ones up front are the ones getting whipped. Well, what's that mean? Look at the one who's in back. The one who's dragging, right? The poor horse in the back that's not got a clue. He's not getting whipped because he's not going to make it. Now, translate that to human beings. When should we pull out the whip and literally kick ourselves in the butt? Is when we're moving forward, when we're up ahead, when things are going great. Man, just keep going, because guess what? It is going to happen. You are going to get to a point of crash. You are going to possibly burn out or just complete overwhelm. Now, so picture the horse back in the back. He's not getting whipped. He's just going along. What if we did the same thing? Is when we're out front, just keep going, keep going, keep going. Just goes as good as you can go. And then when it gets to that point where everything's falling apart, it literally is a time for us to rest. It literally could be a time for us just to stop for a moment and breathe and not keep putting our head up against the wall, but to stop and reassess. And they've always said, I've always learned this from some of the best, as far as being the most effective trainings, is when you're in overwhelm, the one thing you can do is just do one thing. There's actually proof that no one can multitask. You can only have your mind on one thing at a time. So just knock out one thing off your list. Pull the vision back down to right here instead of everything. And just do one thing on your list and cross it off. And do one thing on your list. Don't look at the whole thing and go, how am I going to get this done? Anytime you're overwhelmed, bring the focus down and just do one thing. You start doing that, then you can gradually start to bring your picture up a little bit. That's a tool that works just like that, okay? Now, the other part about it is when things are just not going well, I always recommend just stop and take a look around. I think it's always a sign that says just slow down and take a look and just assess what's going on around you and regather yourself with possibly a different viewpoint. Regather yourself with possibly a different commitment. I think anytime that something comes out of the blue and hits us, and how do I know that? Is I'm going through one right now in my life. As I'm speaking right now, I'm going through one right now. That's why I'm doing this today. It's just a time for us to stop, calm down, not slow down, but calm down, and just assess what I'm doing. Assess what's happening around me so I can see it a different way. Just to recompose myself and then go back out. Now, if you add those three tools together, it does make it a lot easier. You're able to pick up and move on. Instead of stop, instead of give up the dream, instead of going the other way, going, I cannot do this, it's not going to work, it's just too much pain, it's too much. No, it's not. It's really not. It's really not if you can bring those three perceptions back down to reality here and then move again. Because guess what? Once you start moving again, you're going to get back out there. You're going to start winning again. You're going to start doing well. And when you're back out front, absolutely go for it, go for it, go for it, because you are going to stop. It is a process. You're not going to be successful and always climbing and always doing great all the time. That's not reality. And sometimes when we're young, we think success is, let me stop for a second. I did a program on relationships, a great program on the 5 pillars of great relationships. And one of the things I brought up is a great relationship is not happy all the time. A great relationship is not two people who always get along and always, that's a myth, that's Disneyland, that's a lie. A great relationship is one that has ebb and flow. But two people, they're committed to the ebb and flow process. You wouldn't know what happy is. You wouldn't know that feeling if you didn't know what sad was. See, if you which you cannot be, if you're happy all the time, you understand pretty soon you wouldn't even know what happy is. Right? The fish in the water. So how do you know what a happy moment is? Is when you have times of sadness. That right there is a great relationship. So in business and in just life, it's not always going to be great, and it doesn't have to be. Just remember that. It doesn't always have to be great. You're going to have these moments where you need to stop, assess, look around, see what's going on, and go at it again. So that's what I want to bring you here is just, you've never given more than you can handle. You know you can handle it. You just got to believe in yourself, okay? So practice it, play with it, and it is going to happen. You are going to have times in your life when your life is going to poo, but you're going to be okay. Just take those three perspectives and you'll be great. Thank you.